You recently tried to learn something new, a language, a skill. But somewhere along the way you stopped. Not because you lost interest, but because your brain quietly refused to cooperate, and you blamed yourself. But the inability to absorb new information is not a personal failure. It is a neurological state. Chronic stress and cognitive overload don't just make learning harder, they physically alter the brain structures responsible for memory. Deep inside your brain is the hippocampus, the gateway for all long-term memories, but it is incredibly sensitive to stress. When cortisol is chronically elevated, it physically shrinks the hippocampus. A Johns Hopkins study found that when learning feels high stakes or pressured, the brain redirects resources away from the hippocampus to the amygdala, the threat response center. Your brain doesn't multitask between survival and growth. Under pressure, it always chooses survival. There is a second, quieter enemy: cognitive saturation. Your working memory has a hard limit. Modern life fills it constantly with notifications, decisions, and unfinished tasks. By the time you sit down to learn, your mental workspace is already full. You aren't failing to learn, you are trying to pour water into a glass that is already overflowing. Here are 3 ways to fix the neurology of learning. First, learn in a low-stakes state. Tell your brain this is exploration, not evaluation. Curiosity activates the hippocampus. Judgment shuts it down. Second, clear your cognitive load. Write down every open task and worry before you study. Empty the glass to give your brain space to actually receive something new. Third, sleep immediately after learning something important. Memory consolidation happens almost entirely during sleep. Learn, then sleep, in that order. You were not born a slow learner. You were placed in conditions that make learning neurologically difficult. Remove the stress, clear the space, protect the sleep. See you next time.